Now, who's in this room? First of all, thank you so much for saying yes. I mean, I'm pretty amazed, to be honest with you. Last time I saw this much talent and this many smart people, I was sitting in your meeting Saturday, Andrew, with the brightest bunch of students I've ever seen from around the state of Illinois. Those folks had firepower. These folks have firepower. We have in this room what we hope will represent for you over the course of the next some 24 hours, some 48 hours, what we would describe genuinely as a professional learning community. We have national experts. We're going to hear later if the technology all works from Tony Carnavelli. I know we'll hear from Jim Applegate. He's coming up from Indianapolis. Jim will crawl if he has to, so he'll get here. We heard earlier in the fall from Jane Oates, and Jane helped with a paper that Trig, you and Andy worked on. So we've had some national folks help us with this dialogue. We've got policymakers in the room. We have Judy Irwin here from the State Board of Higher Education. We have Elaine Johnson from ICCB. We have Brian Zedema. And Brian, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you being here from the Employment Training Administration in our region. I mean, these are people that make a difference with policy. We need them in this conversation. We have superintendents in the room. All three of them showed up. I cannot tell you how proud I am to have Nancy and Dave and where's Tom? Back here in the back. We can change the world. But we can't change the world from our own individual offices. We can change the world in a room like this. We have workforce board system here. Jennifer Stosh is with us. We have elected officials. Mayor, where are you? Where's Ken? Ken, thank you so much for joining this dialogue and representing the mayors in our district. We've got some pretty powerful presidents in the room. Peg Lee, who's, I consider Peg the senior dean of our president community colleges up here in the northwest suburbs, person that I have called several times since I've been here to ask for help and advice, and she's always answered the phone and given me some good things to think about. Dave Sam, our neighbor right to our west at Elgin. Dave, thank you so much for coming. Later this afternoon, John Peters. I think he's either here or will be coming later this afternoon to join us from Northern Illinois University. We've got folks who lead industry in the room today. Mike Agana from Nationwide Pizza. I've been in down to that plant, and I can tell you, if you want to make $70,000 or $80,000 a year in our economy and know a little bit about electronics and a little bit about mechanics and a little bit about computers, information technology, and you're not too concerned about putting your hands in places that might bite you a little bit, Mike's got a job for you. He's also got a lot of great thoughts about what the workforce needs to look like and how they need to be prepared so they both can live a rich and satisfying life and earn a living. And Mike, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming. Marion Gerton, who is one of the finest craftsmen I've met since I've been here, is in the room. Jeff Butterfield, who runs a pretty important bank for us, is here. Lane Moyer, Keith Sanders, Martha Bell, all people who have a stake in. And I say your names only to represent the larger professional community here. You each have a stake in student success. The agencies, the communities, the industry that you lead will not be successful, will not be sustainable if we don't figure out ways in which we can promote success for every person in the talent development pipeline in our district. Our foundation board members, the executive group is here. All of our board members that have come, we appreciate so much your support. We keep dragging our board members into things that they haven't been to before, and they keep coming. So while we're on a roll, we're going to keep inviting you. And then last but not least, certainly, we got some of the most talented faculty, staff, and students at our college have agreed to come and spend 2 days with us. And they've given up like you have. You know, you got two things that create you, your time and your talent. Whether you're a banker, a faculty member, an architect, your time and your talent are the two resources that you have to give. And you've given it to us. And so in this professional learning community, quite frankly, folks, I don't know why we can't figure out what it is we need to do to become this 21st century community college. We want to try to be in this next 2 days, from the perspective of conference planner, an honest broker in this conversation. Actually, I fundamentally think one of the greatest gifts that community colleges can give to their community is try to always remain an honest broker. So no one ever worries and has to be concerned about something happening that they don't see that's influenced some decision. We have to be honest brokers. And in honesty, I mean making sure we hear your voices in this conversation today and tomorrow. We've got to find a way in this conference for us together to imagine a different William Rainey Harper College, one that strategically connects to you and the institutions that you represent, and provide for us, at the end of the day, a set of directions, I've been saying 4 to 6 or 3 to 5, that will be transformational in their nature with respect to changing some of the current paradigm that exists with respect to how people move through continually across a life cycle in their career of education and training. At the end of the day, if we can do that together, we will in fact create a model that can become a 21st century community college. A little bit about how we want to work, and this is going to be really tough particularly for me and some of my staff and faculty colleagues. For the next sort of 24 hours, we want to talk a little and listen a lot. We have about 100 people in the room. And 40 of you, when you leave tomorrow at noon, will go back to your businesses, your homes, wherever, and another 60 of us will stay for another 24 hours. Over the course of the first 24 hours, I would ask my mates, my college mates, to get very engaged at their table talk conversations with their facilitators, first to listen and next to add. The folks that are here as our guests feel duly authorized to speak your mind. This is not a group of, what's the word for it, violets that sort of shy away, shrinking violets. Not a one of you in the room. So Rick's task to manage the discussion might be tough. But I would ask my colleagues to know that we've got another 24 hours. And while I absolutely want our neighbors and our stakeholders and our thought leaders to hear our opinion, we also want to make darn sure we hear theirs. First part of the conference, we'll be listening a lot. The second part of the conference, my mates and I will be working hard to take that information and move it into some directions that you will both remember. Oh yeah, that didn't come out of anywhere. That we talked about that. That was something that was pretty important to us. And if it really works, that you'll have some investment into. We've tried to pay some attention, and you will find in your conference materials, and I thought I grabbed a copy of it before I came, yeah. We sent you out a lot of information in advance of the conference. Work that began back in the fall with the presidential installation and the white paper that Trig and Andy developed for us, the installation speech I gave, some articles from some of the opinion leaders we're going to hear from today, some national policy information. And we've taken all that and we've tried to, at least from the standpoint of a scoring card, try to see if there's any gravity, if you will, in any of these areas. And so we've developed just a little matrix, and we would invite you to add on to this while you're here. It's been a helpful thing for us to try to catalog our thoughts as we start thinking about how we might prioritize our work. This is something that, at least as a starter, will help us get off with our conversations, particularly 24 hours from now. As I said, our overall goal with the conference is to come out of this event with 4 to 6 strategic directions. Now let me say a little word about strategic. Strategic in the sense that if we have a direction for our college that represents a strategic initiative for our community, if it truly is strategic, it probably won't be able to be done by the college by itself, nor will it be possible for the president to allocate it to a specific department within the college and say, that's your job. That's where a lot of operational work gets done. And frankly, 5 years from now, some of the things that currently we're going to work on as strategic hopefully will become operational, because if they don't, we're not going to be able to sustain them. So I want you to think about strategic in the sense that if you cannot see a way in which whatever group you represent could be a part